Okay, guys, we're live. Give me a 5x5 and we'll get right back into this. This is part 2 from the last live stream. The reason I ended it myself is because if YouTube ends it, I get put in live stream quarantine, which basically locks me in and I can't even upload until they get done messing with things. So give me a 5x5 and we'll get going. Oh, wow, I'm not on. Am I on? There we go, 5x5. Thanks. Okay, that was a serious delay. Usually it's like a 7-second delay. That was like a 17-second delay. All right. Yeah, I was reading some of the chats. Yeah, the paradox of freedom is people can use their freedom to vote for their own tyranny. Let that sink in. But where you have to draw the line is when somebody's voting for your tyranny. If any here, it's as simple as this, guys. And I can't remember who it was that I chatted with right at the first of this chat. If somebody reaches out their hand to touch you in any way, to steal from you, to enslave you, to put handcuffs on you, to throw you in the back of a cop car, to kidnap you, to throw you into a cage, if anybody reaches out their hand to harm you in any way, and that's, by the way, that's the definition of a crime. You've not committed a crime if you disobey the laws of politicians, but you have committed a crime if you left a real material victim. In other words, you stole something from them, you damaged their property, you harmed them in some way. That's the only way you can commit a crime. See, we have such an injustice system right now that it's convoluted for people. We live in a day and age where they've redefined terms to the point where you're a criminal if you disobey the laws of politicians. No, you're not. And I can give you an objective, just a completely ludicrous example from the pages of history. I can't remember what the date was, April or May of 1920. At 11:59 on the night, I think it's April 5th is I think when it went into, I could be wrong, but let's just take the date of April 5th. On April 5th, Prohibition was going to come into effect. Well, on April 4th at 11:59, you were free to buy liquor, sell liquor, drink liquor, possess liquor, transport liquor. But all of a sudden, 1 minute later, actually at 11:59 and 59 seconds, it was perfectly legal for you to do that. 1 second later, you automatically became a criminal in the eyes of the state because now you're doing something that a politician told you not to do. How can it be possible that what you did before wasn't criminal activity, but now it's criminal activity because a whole bunch of political psychopaths got together and declared that it is? Think about the insanity of laws. That's why you can look at laws as nothing more, nothing less than the opinions of politicians backed by the threat of force. If you disobey our laws, our commands, our edicts, our ordinances, then we will send men with guns to your house and make you comply. If you continue to try to comply, be non-compliant, we're going to take you out of your house. We're going to arrest you. If you resist, we reserve for ourselves the right to harm you up to including ending your life because you didn't obey the laws of politician. We're talking about anything. Traffic ticket. Maybe you blew through that red light and you didn't see it, but you didn't harm anybody, but they took a picture of your license plate and they sent you here's what you owe, and you decide not to pay it. Eventually, they're going to make you pay it. That's the state. That's why George Washington said, government is not eloquence. It's not reason. It's force. Can't you see that? And like fire, it's a dangerous servant and a fearful master. So the irony and grave paradox of freedom is that you can literally use your freedom to beg for tyranny. But that stops. The line is drawn when they try to exact that tyranny on you. When they reach out their hand to do that. So we're back to the 11:59 and 59 seconds. Perfectly legal for you to do it. Legal. But now all of a sudden it's illegal. And when people are thinking legality and illegality, they equate legality with morality and illegality with immorality. So if you've done something illegal, then you've done something in the eyes of the state and everybody who buys onto that complete psychopathy. They believe that illegality is immorality. So you've become an immoral person all of a sudden because you did what 1 second ago was perfectly moral to do? What magic is this? What fantasy land, what Disney set is this? It's fictitious, guys. That's why Bastiat said the state is that great fiction by which everyone lives at the expense of everyone else. It's a fiction. It's back to that horse. It's back to this right here. I don't know if you can see that. Is that back on? Oh, shoot. I don't have the right. Let's see. There we go. It's back to this horse right here. Shoot. Man, I am slow with this tag, guys. It's back to this horse. It's fictitious. The horse believes that he's a prisoner of the 50-cent, half-pound, China-made Walmart lawn chair. And it's a lie. It's not even true. It's a lie that you're immoral because you disobeyed the prohibition law. It's a lie that you're a criminal now because you decided to sell a bag of weed to somebody who wanted your weed more than he wanted his $25. It's a lie. All of government is predicated on a lie. It's a lie that we have to submit to governing authorities. It's a lie that you have a federal authority, a state authority, a local authority. Nobody has a higher claim over your life and property than you. And until we get that ingrained in people's minds, until we break this, and I'm serious, we need a sledgehammer of truth to break the mold of cognitive dissonance because it's strong. Think about it. Most of us, including me, have a 15,000 hour indoctrination program called public schools ingrained in our mind. Obey authorities. You're a good Johnny. You're a good Susie if you just obey the authorities. They know what's best for you. They're here to keep you safe. You need to let them steal your money in the form of tax. We're not going to call it theft. We're going to call it taxation. So it's these euphemisms and lies and emotionalism and fear-mongering in order to dupe average people into accepting and even demanding the chains of their own enslavement. It's like, the chains will keep me safe. Put me in a cell. I'll be free if you just put bars and then throw away the key, or you have control over the key. You need to have control over my life, master politician, master Supreme Court justice, master law enforcer. Guys, until we break the mold, like this horse right here, in his mind, he literally thinks that he's a captive to this freaking nothing. It's nothing. He might as well be strapped to air. It's nothing. But he thinks it's something. And so because people think it's something, now we have a whole bunch of zombies out there thinking something is nothing when it really isn't, but that has a direct bearing on your life. Because as Wesley Snipes and many, many, many others found out, if you stop paying your taxes, in other words, if you stop paying the extortion fee, well, all of a sudden, they slap a tag on you, tax evader. And all of the lemmings look around and go, wait, did you see tax? Oh my God, could anything be worse than evading taxes? Could anything be more heinous or criminal than wanting to keep 100% of what you earned by the sweat of your own brow, going away from your family and investing all that time and effort and energy and resources to collect and keep 100% of it? Wait a second, what's wrong with that again? Why do I think that's wrong? Oh, that's right. I think it's wrong because I have this 15,000 hour indoctrination program behind me. I think it's wrong because it's constantly been pounded into me by my parents, my teachers, law enforcers, politicians. Mainstream media has constantly been telling you, you've got to obey. If you don't obey, then you're evil. And that's why statism is literally a cult. Government is literally a church, and people are checked into that cult of personality. And it makes them believe things are not true. And because they believe things in their mind that are not true, they act according to their beliefs. And that's why belief is the enemy of knowledge. Because if you knew what was going on, you'd be like this horse and you'd go, what the frick is that? 50-cent China Walmart half a pound. What is this? I'm going to take my hoof and just crush it into nothingness. This is nothing to me. And that's where we have to be as a society, is realizing that which presents itself to be universally something is absolutely nothing. They have no legitimate authority. They have no higher claim over your life and property than you. They don't have the right to initiate unjust force and violence on peaceful people who haven't done anything wrong. And how do we know? Because you know it in your heart. You don't need scriptures to tell you. You don't need a holy book. You don't need religion. You don't need a constitution. You don't need the USA, the President of the United States, federal, state, and local governments. You don't need your mayor. You don't need your best friend. You don't need Jesus, Muhammad. You don't need anybody to tell you that it's wrong for a man to lift up his hand against another man and steal something out of his pocket or hit him over the head or threaten him with force and violence if he doesn't comply. because you know it's wrong. You know it's wrong. And slapping the name government or president or senator or congressman or judge or law or policeman in front of a name does not make it right. It never can, and it never will. That's the mold we have to break. Let me just make sure that I'm still live. I don't even know if I'm still live. Does everybody? I mean, if I say something that's in error or in accordance with falsehood, I would expect truth to just come and slap me down. I'm gonna. Oh shoot! I didn't even have the horse up here. The horse isn't even showing, is it? Oh, it is showing. Okay. All right. So let me just read a couple of these super chats real quick, because I left Mr. Cooper hanging from yesterday's super chat. The reason Rothschilds and other elitists care not who the country's leaders are is not only because they control them and the money, but every leader perpetuates the left versus right paradigm lie. Exactly. Any conversation that does not contain within it the just remedy against, not for, against politicians and bankers is no solution at all, and it's not even worth talking about. Mainstream media will never and can never talk to you about the root cause of our current ills. Not just America's ills, but the ills of the entire world. It's the Zionist international banking cartel. Until we lay the axe at that root, there is no hope of ever bringing the tree down. And the reason I say that's the root is because politicians could not be empowered to make the laws that they make if they weren't in the back pockets of the bankers. It's the bankers who animate the puppet politicians. Yeah, and then we got to talk about the politicians, because they sold us down the river. They literally committed and every day commit acts of treason against us by taking away our freedoms. When you take away somebody's freedom, you've taken away their life. Don't yell Constitution. Don't support the Constitution. Support freedom, because there is within it tyrannical language in the Constitution. Where is it ever right to have somebody? Let me just say this. If you live in a neighborhood of 100 people and 51 or 52 people come against you and say, hey, we reserve for ourselves the right to take 10% of your income, you'd look at them like, who the hell do you guys think you are? And rightly so, because what they're proposing to do is that which is completely immoral. How do we know? Because they wouldn't want it done to themselves. They wouldn't want it done to their sons and daughters, their wife, their mother or father. They wouldn't want that done to them. We inherently know what is moral and what is immoral, what is right and what is wrong. So within the Constitution, it's Congress shall have the power. They love to use that word power to lay and collect taxes. In other words, let me just wipe away the euphemisms. Men in suits and fancy buildings reserve for themselves the right to steal your income. Is that true or false? It's absolutely false, but there it is right there in the Constitution. They don't have that power. So what I'm telling you is, don't champion the cause of the Constitution or President Trump or Hillary Clinton or Republicans or Democrats or Black Power. Champion the cause of freedom, because freedom stands against that which is in the Constitution. There's a lot of stuff in the Declaration of Independence that what they said in one paragraph is completely argued. They argue against themselves in the next paragraph. Endowed by your creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But later on it says, petition the government for redress of grievances, or it says something like the consent of the governed. Wait a second. Consent of the governed, and govern means to control. Government means to control the mind. Consent of the controlled. Wait a second. If you're controlled, then you can't consent anything. It makes no sense. It's mutually exclusive and diametrically opposed. Either you're consenting something or you're governed by something. There is no consent when government is involved. They don't care about your consent. That's what government is there for, to steamroll over your consent, to steamroll over your individual will, and just to take what they want to take, to harm you the way they want to harm you. So even embedded in the Declaration of Independence is tyrannical language, and you have to come to the knowledge of that. Because if you don't, then you check in automatically to the cult of personality, the cult of Thomas Jefferson or whoever wrote that. You need to be, if you're for freedom, you're against everything that's against freedom. And there's a lot in the Declaration of Independence that is 100% against freedom, guys. Pledge allegiance to the flag. Don't do it. That's idolatry. If you pledge allegiance to the flag, then you set yourself up and paint yourself in the corner to actually be against truth, not for it. I pledge allegiance to the flag and to the United States of America. United States Title 28, Section 3002, 15A is a federal frickin' corporation. You're going to pledge your allegiance to a corporation? Free men don't do that. Oh my God. That's why I titled my last video, hey, don't click on this video if you're a freaking snowflake, because I got a lot of stuff to tell you that you probably don't want to hear. Oh my God, he's against the Declaration of Independence. What a liberal retard. I'm against everything that's against freedom, period. It is the high ground. Freedom is the ground of morality. You can't even get higher. Change my mind. Consent of the governed is nonsense. But you don't understand. Thomas Jefferson was smarter than you, maybe, but he made a bonehead move when he put his quill to the paper on that one. I mean, you guys got to understand, it's freedom or it's nothing. At this point, you can't compromise. Anything that comes in your purview and is against, I mean, just a grain, just a grain of rice or a grain of sand sized tyranny. You flick it off, you burn it, you trample it under your foot. It's no good. We should go over the Declaration of Independence. There's a lot of tyrannical language that if you go line by line and you just look through the spectacles, if you just put on the spectacles of freedom, kind of like Rodney Piper put on those spectacles and he could see, oh my God, consume, obey, eat, spend, produce. You would see that it's utter tyranny. If anything lends itself to any man saying that you don't have authority, but somebody else does, petition the government for redress of grievances. Can you imagine you as a man petitioning another man to please let me walk across the street. Please let me eat that hamburger. Please let me walk into my house or out of my house. It's ludicrous. It's antithetical to any kind of freedom that you could ever want. All right, so that's Mr. Cooper. JC says, absolute precious freedom. Tim Truth says, seeking and spreading the truth. And Anon 2, thank you for subbing High Impact and helping out. Appreciate it. Davey Crocco, thanks, Brian. Davey Crocco did a great live stream today. Admins, please grab Davey Crocco's last live stream and put the link in the chat room. I really want you guys to see it. He did a fantastic job. I was in there. I could only be in there for like 15 or 20 minutes, but what I saw of it was really good. George Cuff, great information. Thank you for your show, Vegas here. Wake Up the Sheep 2. We are in part of the great deception as the Bible speaks. Be good to each other. God bless you, Brian. Thank you. Brian Emery, thank you. It says, people today are giving liberty to save lives while our forefathers gave lives to save liberty. That is a freaking good point right there. Oh, shoot. I didn't know you didn't see. Okay. There you guys. Can you guys see that? This is the one I just read. Let me put that up for you. Sorry, guys. I got to be more aware of that. I'm reading super chats from the last live stream that I couldn't get to, and I promised I would. People today are giving liberty to save lives giving liberty to save lives. It's ridiculous. It's an oxymoron. If you give liberty, you're going to cost way more lives. Like, there's no possible way any virus, you can combine Ebola, SARS, MERS, Zika, West Nile, tuberculosis, nothing. Combine all those and all natural disasters. Nothing could take more lives, and it's proven throughout the annals of history. If you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it. Nothing could take more lives than listening to, bowing down to, and submitting to government functionaries who think they have a higher claim over your life and property than you. Nothing. To the tune of 250 million, that's 250 million people who trusted their government to keep them safe. Remember what Benjamin Franklin said, if you give a little bit of your liberty to acquire just a little bit of temporary politically promised security, which, by the way, you never get, you deserve neither liberty nor security. So 250 million people, 250 million people gave turned off their minds, checked into the government cult of personality and said, here, I'll get in the back seat, you take the driver's seat. And then that government proceeded to push the pedal to the metal and steer them right over the cliff into the precipice below. 250 million people, a quarter of a billion people, excluding wars. So you can put all your Zika, West Nile, CV-19, whatever you want to into a jar. It will never stack up a body count higher than some government psychopath thinking they have a higher claim over your life and property than you. Nothing. And you throw natural disasters in there. Earthquakes, hurricanes, floods. The government is messing with the weather. That is not a conspiratorial statement. You can look in their own documents. They plan on controlling all the weather by 2025. They even have a document on it. They gloat about it. They're spraying crap in the air to make it arid over here and wet over here. They're bringing the floods. They're bringing the hurricanes and tornadoes. Am I saying that they're doing it all? No, I'm not saying they're doing it all. But they admit to doing some of it. They are destroying lives, destroying properties. And that's just one thing. How about giving power to Monsanto for GMO frankenfood? They don't care. You think they care about you with the CV-19 and they want to protect you? Then why aren't they protecting you from Bill Gates' vaccines? Why aren't they protecting you from the GMO Monsanto Agent Orange frankenfood? Monsanto Bayer, by the way, now. Monsanto Bayer. You know, Bayer, Johnson & Johnson. They don't care about you. They care about their biotech, big pharma board of trustees. Yeah, so I agree with you, Brian Emery. Bones says, our rights are inalienable, not government given. Inalienable. Unassailable. Can't take them away. Can't give them. Period. The only way somebody can take your rights is if you relinquish it. Here, take the steering wheel. I'll just be there in the back seat, sleeping. I like what George Carlin said. It's the American dream. They call it the American dream because you got to be asleep to believe it. And it is a big club, and you ain't in it. Is my mic still on? Is there any kind of buzz or anything? Thank you guys, 1,300 people sticking around. No vaccines ever, says Mitchell. Frickin' men. Jason Walsh, what's up? Your friendly neighborhood dealer. Einstein. Hey, what's up? Ben's in the house. Ben, by the way, well, I'm not going to reveal who's helping me with that app. I haven't asked him if it's okay to do that, but they're working on that app, guys. Hats off to those guys. Okay. Strychnine says, preach, freedom and truth, lovers unite. Cameron says, Orange Man good. No, Orange Man is not good. The mainstream media is actually right about that. A broken clock is right twice a day, guys. CNN can be right. And it's not even about them being right. It's just truth is truth. If Anderson Cooper spoke the truth, I would have to admit on the level of truth that it's just truth. If it's in accordance with freedom, it's in accordance with freedom. I don't care who said it. It doesn't matter. But see, when you start trying to consider who it was that spoke the truth, then you're actually giving away your hand. You're actually showing people you are a part of the cult of personality. If all that interests you is in accordance with truth or freedom, you get yourself out of the pitfall of checking in to the cult of personality. You're in the cult of truth, so to speak. Your allegiance is only to the truth. It's only to knowledge. It's only to that which you can objectively, systematically prove. Period. You're not leaning on faith, because faith and belief is the enemy of knowledge. Bamboo Soul just says, case study, April 19th, 1775, 70 Minutemen militia stood up against 700 British soldiers ready to give the ultimate sacrifice for freedom, beginning the revolution. Makes you think. Yep, it does. It does make you think. Look how far we've come, and not in a good way. James B says, if we don't act now to secure freedom, we will wake up tomorrow in chains. You remember what, I agree, James B. You remember what Henry Ford said? If people understood the banking industry, there would be a revolution by tomorrow morning. The bankers control us. You can hide behind the Constitution all you want. The Constitution has been at least ineffective since 1913 when the Federal Reserve came online. In the spirit of Amschel Rothschilds, if I control the nation's money, I care not who makes its laws. And they've shown that. They've proven it time and time again. Alan Greenspan in 2007 said on 2020, hey, as long as the Federal Reserve, a private corporation, can call the shots. Doesn't matter what the relationship is between Congress or the executive branch or the judicial branch. You know, judicial, legislative, and executive branch. Doesn't matter what they say because we're in control. They just flaunt it in your face, guys. Waking Up the Sheeple 2, you're the best channel on YouTube, Brian. Thank you. I really appreciate that sentiment. But I'll tell you what, you guys, there's a lot of good channels. James Corbett from the Corbett Report. Gosh, there's so many good ones. When I start trying to list the ones that are good, I get this mind block because there's so many of them. Corey Man X. Shoot, there's so many of them. That Matt guy says, Brian, you got the voice. Get out there now. Also, I do. I don't record everything that I do, guys. Coolix3 says, don't be a try baby, be a do baby. The word try is a failure word. The word do is definitive. Don't try, do. I agree. American Warrior says, you just nailed it. Brian Knight, thank you. Maiden of Darkness says, if Trump was for us, can you guys see that? If Trump was for us, he would announce this was all a farce. I agree. He knows it's an exercise due to Pompeo and many other things, guys. That's just what Pompeo let slip. This is a live, I can't remember what his word was. This is a live something. Live event or live, I don't know. I can't remember now. And yet stay silent and read scripts daily. Yep. I agree, Maiden of Darkness. Brian Knight, thank you. Driving While Black, that's hilarious. Driving While Black. Driving While Black says, it's hard to look in any direction right now with all the order-following slaves and their ignorance. Go to policethepolice.live and get in touch. I'm building something right now. It's for freedom, and it's going to be big. Thanks, Driving While Black. I really appreciate it. Is that a... if you have a YouTube channel, go to Driving While Black. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Jan says 1,000 people die per day in New York City of 11 million people. Flat Earth Frank says, Brian, please contact Pastor Dean Odell and visit his YouTube channel. Talk to him about Trump and Q. I want to hear a debate. He needs the truth about Trump. Thanks, man. Doc Holliday says, Rothschild's a man armed with slips of paper has overthrown the entire world. How is this even possible? Wake up, America. And that harkens back to give a man a gun and he can rob a bank, but give a man a bank and he can rob the world. And that's exactly what happened and is happening. To think that this is a COVID, it's a CV-19 thing, is to stick your head in the sand. What's going on is a psychological operation to run cover for the Zionist international banking cartel who aims to wreck America, to wreck the dollars, the world reserve currency, to bring in a cashless society, a digital, cashless, one world reserve currency. That's what's going on. Oh, while they buy up everything in the repo market, spending tens, hundreds of billions of dollars every hour. They're buying everything up, guys. While small businesses go broke, corporations like Amazon are just getting stronger and stronger. Microsoft getting stronger and stronger. Biotech companies, big pharma companies getting stronger and stronger. And all the little guys are just going away. They're melting away. The middle class is being decimated. The longer we stay closed, the worse it gets for us. And I don't even see how we're going to recover from it, guys. Because everything you see in the stock market is fictitious. They're throwing QE infinity at this thing. They're going to print as many notes and put as many zeros and ones in the bank accounts as they can get to keep this fable going. But the free market, there is still a free market. As small as it may be right now, the free market will always shine through. There's always going to be that ray of sunshine. There's that little seed that pokes its head through the dirt and just ruins everything for the tyrants. There's always a reset. And what did Jefferson say? Sometimes the tree of liberty has to be refreshed. I'm not going to say the rest of that because I'll probably, it'll be hate speech. Truth is treason in the empire of lies. Thanks, Doc Holliday. Mac for Truth says, if the founding fathers saw this, they would be mad. That's an understatement. I agree with the MGC Truth. Case says, why are these people still supporting the government? Haven't they noticed nothing has changed except the $1,200 check in the bank, which is literally freaking... Man, giving your freedoms away for slave wages, amazing. Tree Climbing says, can you love Trump and recognize his faults? That's like saying, can you love a Nazi SS soldier who's coming in to take your family? It's like saying, do you love a Hitler? Do you love Stalin? Can you just love Mussolini and recognize his faults? Can you love Mao Zedong and recognize it? A tyrant is a tyrant. A despot is a despot. People who are against freedom are people who are against freedom. And if they're against freedom, they're against your life. They don't care how many bodies they have to pile up to gain control and notoriety and wealth. No, I don't love people who hate my fellow. I almost said citizens because the indoctrination program. My fellow human beings. If somebody hates my fellow human beings, they don't have my love. They don't have my respect. They don't have my admiration. They only have my disdain. That's it. Sometimes a Trump hat is just a slap at the left. And that's the problem. That's the problem, tree climbing. To continue propagating the left versus right paradigm lie is to continue perpetuating the chains of our own enslavement. And that is what's wrong. That you basically encapsulated the mental mindset that keeps us in the cognitive dissonance quicksand, actually cognitive dissonance hardened concrete, cured concrete that we all got to break out of. Trump is your enemy. Let's face it. I've proven it time and time again. If all that Trump did wrong, it's just like Obama. If all that Obama did wrong was the Affordable Care Act, that's enough to arrest a guy and put him in prison for the rest of his life for treason. Because basically what he's saying is, I'm for the redistribution of wealth, which means I don't care how much money I have to steal from you. We got to give everybody free medical health care. It's wrong because it's immoral. Immorality is being on the wrong side of humanity, and it never ends well for people like that. So tyrants have to be thrown down. The axe has to be put to the tree, the root of the tree. No compromise. No compromise at all. Okay, so let's get back to Corey Man X's video. Let me get back here. And I'm going to go through this real quick, guys. I made this guy the thumbnail because he spit on Corey Man X, and he's the one who put himself on my thumbnail. He made me do it. Okay, so let's listen to some of this argumentation here.
Freedom first!
Freedom over any individual!
Correct! Absolute!
I don't need Alex Jones to bring me...
Corey Man X, don't do that. Don't do that, man. Oh my goodness. Thanks, man. I appreciate your heart. If we all just had the heart of freedom, that's what Corey Man X is out there doing. Are we going to make mistakes as individuals? Yeah, but we're going to be corrected. Why? Because we're going to be brought back to the plumb line of truth. And the reason I'm saying plumb line is because when you I don't know if you've ever laid brick, but I have. If you've laid brick, you know you need that plumb line or things are going to go really bad really fast. So you put this plumb line across. You got a vertical plumb line and a horizontal plumb line. So things are vertically straight and horizontally straight. That's your guide. Let truth and freedom and morality, basic human morality, guys, and liberty be your plumb line, your vertical and horizontal plumb line. So that if you start building on your life, anything against that plumb line of, okay, is this the initiation? Am I sanctioning the initiation of unjust force and violence and peaceful people who haven't done anything wrong? Do I believe I have a higher claim over the life and property of other people? Do other people believe that about me? Nope, that's inconsistent with the plumb line of truth. It's not my truth. And by the way, it's not your truth. It's just truth that everybody knows. Everybody's got it. A lot of people suppress it, and a lot of people walk in it. And those people who walk in it are usually hated by everybody else who likes to suppress it. Because a lot of, truth is kind of painful sometimes. And the reason it's not cliche, it's that it's absolute truth, is that truth is treason in the empire of lies, is because people cannot handle the truth. I hate to even say that because I know it's from a movie clip. You can't handle the truth. I can't remember what the movie with Nicholas and Tom Cruise. I can't remember the name of the movie, but yeah, that's true. Most people can't handle the truth. And so they go all through their lives with their fingers in their ears and they want to get rid of people with the truth. A lot of times, people who, if you'll notice, people who are highly moral are a lot of times alone because other people don't want them around. And a lot of times people don't want the moral, truth-telling person around because they don't want to be held accountable themselves. They want to kind of be able to fudge the numbers a little bit. They want to kind of get away with their little immoralities and inconsistencies against freedom. They kind of want a little bit of tyranny, so they can't stand those guys around. But those are the guys that are the backbone to give you what you got, or what the remnant of what you got today. That's why, you know, I don't even want to say America used to be great, because I don't even know, man. You look at it, if you look at the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution through the eyes of truth, it gets pretty discouraging. So thank you, Corey, man. I appreciate that super chat. Thank you for doing that. By the way, I think he's still out in Austin, camping out on Abbott's lawn, championing the cause of individual rights, not compromising. Jeez, that's what we need.
Bring me freedom. I don't need Donald Trump to bring me freedom. You, no, fuck Bernie Sanders. Fuck him. I want freedom. I want freedom.
Freedom comes first.
Okay, you yourself will get that. Freedom, 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 freedom.
Freedom.
Alex Jones will not give us freedom. Donald Trump will not give us freedom. Yourself, individual, you will give yourself freedom.
Exactly. The key is within you, guys. The key is within you. It's your freedom. It's his freedom. It's her freedom. It's our freedom. If somebody comes against that, we unite on that. We unite on liberty. We unite on freedom. We're not in political parties. Guys, political parties are the antithesis of freedom. They were literally built as a control mechanism to control you. The only way the people can be conquered is if they're divided. Divide and conquer is not a cliche. It's an actual truism that you can see playing out throughout the annals of history. It doesn't matter if it's American history or Chinese history or British history. It doesn't matter. If you can divide the people and keep them from being united on truth, freedom, and liberty, just that. If you can introduce political parties and, the left versus right paradigm, and this person is right, but this person isn't, and you need to accept a little bit of tyranny in your life so that we can get a little bit of security. No, it's got to be pure. It's got to be unadulterated. It can't be affected with contaminants. It's either freedom or nothing. There is no other option. There can be no compromise. Corey's right here. It's about freedom. I'm only out here for liberty. I'm not out here for Alex Jones. I'm not out here on behalf of Donald Trump. I'm not USA, USA, USA. I'm talking about your freedom. And I like what he calls out. Hopefully I can get to it in this video. But he says, if you're a small business owner, let us know. That's what all these people in this crowd you see should be rallied around, is that if you're for freedom, if you're for liberty, and if you're for not compromising and backing off of that, then if you're a small business owner, we need to turn our sights away from the Capitol building toward each other and go, okay, here's what we do. We have freedom. We have liberty. We have our own minds. We don't want to be controlled. We want to go back to work. Let's do it. But we're going to encounter resistance. So if you encounter resistance, let us know. Here's the phone number to call, the hotline, or whatever you set up. That's why we're setting up this app. I know it's taking a little while, but we got to get it right. If you need help, here's what you do. Then we all rally the troops and we come and we help each other and we don't let each other slide. And we're like the Minutemen. That's why I like that. Somebody came up with the name for the app is a Minuteman app. We're ready at a moment's notice. We're going there. Geolocate. Go to this guy or this woman. Maybe it's a nail salon. Maybe it's Bob's hamburger shop or whatever. He's experiencing tyrannical intervention. Let's go help him. Let's rally the troops. Peacefully, YouTube. I'm talking about civil disobedience. Because let's face it, guys, the spirit of freedom is rebellion against any shade of tyranny. I'm going to say that again. The spirit of freedom, the essence, the core of freedom is absolutely just teeth-grinding rebellion and resistance against any freaking form of tyranny. It's fist clenched, jaws tightened, and it's like, you can't have it. You're not getting it. And if you do get it, then I'm going to die in the process. Because it'll only be over my dead body that you have tyranny gets past me. That's how we got to all think. That's where he's coming from. That's the springboard of this. But then Alex Jones comes and he co-ops the whole freaking thing. With their stupid Trump flags and their MAGA hats and this divisive left versus right paradigm garbage. I'm done with it. We got to be done. Yeah, JC was out there too.
Exactly.
Then let's stop worshiping one person.
We're listening to what
This whole rally has been Alex
Look at
Jones
this guy.
worshiping.
He just said, we're not worshiping, we're just listening to what we have to say, as he has a Trump worshiping shirt. He has the picture of a man that he probably, no doubt, voted for, who he's in the back pocket of, who he continues to support, even though the guy just sold us down the river for $6.2 trillion, among other heinous crimes that Trump has committed that he should be in jail with Hillary Clinton for. We're not worshiping him. Yes, you are. Your actions betray your words, dude.
Player Donald Trump.
right. Worshipping a pedophile.
There are other people coming up to me and leaving.
Trump.
There are other people leaving.
Trump is a pedophile.
There's people leaving.
Yes, he is. I agree with you. What's the problem? The problem is we love freedom. We love freedom.
Peace and love.
None of us are behind him. You know, right.
Sorry, then he starts talking to this guy, but then there's a little break right here.
That guy supports pedophiles. Trump supports pedophiles because he's one of them. Trump is a...
Look at all these people. When I see people like this, like for example, if you're wearing a mask, it's because you believe, not because you know. You believe. You bought into the lie. You bought into what mainstream media is feeding you. You bought what government shills are shoveling out to you. You're knee deep. You're probably hip deep, waist deep, shoulder deep, eye deep in bull crap in your mind. And you really believe that mask is going to save you from the dangerous CV-19 virus in the streets when it's all complete fiction. So I think the psychological, look, this guy's covered up. People who are walking out there, it's like the psychological engineers, the social engineers are going, okay, how can we immediately detect and identify these people who are buying the lie? Oh, they got masks and gloves on. They're really believing this BS, and you can tell it. We got to break the cognitive dissonance, guys.
Hey, are you guys here to support freedom? Can we agree on that? Freedom? What?
Like I says, so Corey says, can we all just agree on freedom? And this guy with the waving the American flag, not the freedom you're talking about. Well, the only freedom we're talking about is just opening up businesses, just opening up, not begging tyrants to please open us up. That's the freedom he's talking about. Is that the freedom you're against? Come on, be clear.
How is my freedom tyranny? I need to. He said I need to have a flag to support freedom. I just asked this guy, how am I tyranny? And he asked me, where's my flag? A flag is tyranny, buddy.
Freedom comes first. I'm so joking.
You got a lot of rabbit hole to go down. You got a lot of rabbit hole to go down.
Did you see the question? Did you see he's? Let me just show you his look on his face because he says the flag is tyranny. Look,
Rabbit hole to go down.
wait, let me.
I need to. He said I need to have a flag to support freedom. I just asked this guy, how am I tyranny? And he asked me, where's my flag? A flag is tyranny, buddy.
Freedom comes first. I'm so joking.
You got a lot of rabbit hole to go down.
Okay, look at it. He just asked the question. He's looking at Corey like a horse staring at a new gate. The flag is tyranny? How's that? People don't understand. Don't hide behind a flag. Don't pledge allegiance to a flag. Don't pledge allegiance to a political party, Republican, Democrat. I could care less. It's tyranny if you're in the tank for anything but pure liberty, pure freedom. To hell with everything else. If you don't have that freedom, you ain't got nothing. People like, and the things that we take for granted that we talk about all the time are completely foreign to other people. As a matter of fact, not just foreign, but they look at you like you're the enemy if you're not in their political party. Democrats, Republicans, it doesn't matter. A Democrat will look at you and go, what? You're not for Nancy Pelosi? Oh, you must be for Trump. It's like, no, I'm not for Trump. I'm not a Republican. Oh, you must be an independent. It's like, no. I'm just for freedom. Don't try to put a label on me. I'm just for your freedom and my freedom, and nobody has a higher claim over your life and property than you. But obviously you think that they do, or you wouldn't be in a political party saying rah, 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 zis, boom, bah for a political parasite. I can't even talk.
You got a lot of rabbit hole to go down. You know, I understand that you're in the right direction, and I appreciate y'all's passion and your fire. I'm born and raised Texan, buddy.
See, look at that. Go back to California. Like, there's the false dichotomy. There's the fallacy structure being set up. Okay, because you don't believe like us, you must be a liberal lunatic. That's how people that right there is a testimony to the power of cognitive dissonance brought to you by none other than the social engineers like Edward Bernays. They can literally get inside and rewire your mind to where they can control what you say and control what you do, to the point where you're actually calling for your own chains, your own slavery, while somebody's staring right in the face going, no, dude, I'm trying to lead you to freedom, real freedom. And they're looking at your freedom as though it's bondage. It's just an upside down world.
Your talking points are ridiculous. Go watch Fox News, pick up some more talking points.
4 minutes. 4 minutes.
See, and you know what happens when somebody says something like that? Go watch Fox News. Oh, then obviously you're for CNN or MSLSD. And it's amazing all the blanks that people fill in to try to pacify their own minds so that they can stay comforted by their cognitive dissonance. Because let's face it, cognitive dissonance is comfortable. That's why people stay there. They're comfortable not arguing. They're comfortable waving people off and just brushing people off like it's nothing. That means they don't have to stand there and make an argument. They can call you a conspiracy theorist or a liberal lunatic or a democratic retard or whatever they want to call you, because they don't have to stand there and make an argument, because they don't have an argument. Not an argument based on truth. It's an argument based on their political party.
We're here for absolute freedom. We're not here to follow. No. We're not here about communism.
CNN. It's really weird. You either have to love Donald Trump or be for CNN. Why is that?
There you go.
Why is that? Why can't you just love freedom? 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 Why can't you just love freedom?
The difference is that these guys support Trump.
I support freedom. I do not support any Republican or Democrat, because they clearly do not support freedom.
There you go.
You support Donald Trump. He's a Republican.
I came here.
Yes, he is.
No.
He's been hanging out with Bush since the 80s. He was on the Republican convention floor with him. He was hanging out with the Clintons. He signed the National Defense Authorization Act. Do you know what the National Defense Authorization Act is?
Look. Okay, guys, I want to show you something. The actions of these Republicans are no different than the Democrats. This guy waving his flag and not listening to what Corey says, because Corey's spewing a lot of truth right here. He's laying down, he's dispelling a whole lot of lies here. He's putting everything on the plane that it should be seen on, and that's the foundation of truth and liberty and logic. But this guy's waving his flag, not listening. Think about this. This is huge, guys. The National Defense Authorization Act, which contains within it the right, quote unquote, right, for the federal government to imprison without charge, trial, or due process of law any American citizen that they deem as a dissident. Trump re-signed that after Obama signed it. People were against Obama just for the National Defense Authorization Act. And let's not forget about the NDRP. That's the National Defense Resources Preparedness Act, where Trump actually believes, just like Obama believed, that the federal government has the right to commandeer all water sources, all electrical sources, all food sources, all modes of transportation, all lands. That's Trump. That was Obama. That was Bush. They're all against freedom, which makes them all tyrants. So this waving of the flag right here that you see with this guy right here, no different between Republican and Democrat. See, that's the thing is, when you start bringing out these points that proves, it doesn't allude to, it doesn't just introduce, it proves that Trump is literally the tyrant that Obama was, that Bush was, that Clinton was before him, that Reagan was, that Nixon was, that Ford was, that Carter was. All of them are puppets. It proves it. But you don't need a long list of things. All you need is Trump signed the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act. Trump endorses and re-signed the NDRP, the National Defense Resources Preparedness Act. That's all you need to know, guys. And that's not all there is, but that's all you need to know. Just one thing. That shows that he is not your friend. He's your enemy. He's not for freedom. He's against it. So here's Corey throwing out a whole bunch of, he got out the fire hose of truth on this guy. and he can't handle it. He can't listen to it, and he doesn't have an argument. Yeah, well, you're a liberal retard. That's ad hominem, guys. That's an argumentative strategy that says I don't have an argument, and I can't say anything, so I'm going to have to, attack your person.
Do you know what the National Defense Authorization Act is? You don't even know. You don't even know what the National Defense Authorization Act. Do you know what the Patriot Act is? You know what the Patriot Act is?
2001, they took the shit from us.
Donald Trump signed it.
I know, over and over again.
No,
So I don't believe
is
that
that
shit.
look given by
But
Okay, I don't support.
He says, I know, but he's got a Trump, Pence, keep America great again. How are you going to keep America great when you re-signed and re-energized the unpatriotic, nothing could have been more unpatriotic, guys, you have to admit, Department of Homeland Security, offshoot, the TSA, wrecking and ruining and trampling on the Fourth Amendment, the right to be secure in your person's houses, papers, and effects, Nazi checkpoints with the blue shirts, set up at every airport across this nation under the Patriot Act. If that was the only thing that was wrong with the Patriot Act, that's all you need, but that's not all there is. So this guy's saying, yeah, I know, I'm against the Patriot Act, but you're for Trump? No, you're not. You're living in hypocrisy. You're being a living, animated hypocrite. You're no different than a Hillary Clinton supporter because you don't know what you're talking about. And you're out here trying to bring tyranny on the land, trying to beg tyrants. How is a tyrant going to release to you the very freedoms that the tyrant you're currently begging took it from you in the first place? How does that even work? That's literally insanity. I hate the fact that I keep using the word insanity, but there is no better word. There's no more appropriate word.
Support Trump because he signed the National Defense Authorization Act. He signed the Patriot Act. He just bailed out Wall Street, bro. He just bailed out Wall Street, bro.
billions of dollars. Hey, I know that fucking
If that was Obama, we would all be up at the White House yelling, "Get the fuck out, Obama!"
Damn, that's so freaking... You can't even get more undiluted than that. He just basically poured a bucket of truth acid on the battery post of people who are begging for tyranny. I mean, bravo, Corey. Frickin' bravo. That's what we need. What if everybody right there was Corey Man X? What if everybody like that was you and me? I'm not just talking about Corey Man X. I don't want to be put on a pedestal, and I know Corey doesn't, but that's frickin' truth right there. That's freaking truth. He just got out the blowtorch of truth and just blew everybody away like that. And those are only a couple of examples, guys. You know, all these people would be outside of the White House with pitchforks and torches telling Obama to get the hell out of there. But for some reason, it's okay with Trump. What magic is this? What Walt Disney World pixie dust have these people been sprinkling on their cornflakes?
fucking idiot.
How can you agree with that and still wear the shirt? He just bailed out Wall Street, bro. He signed the Patriot Act, the National Defense Authorization Act. He signed the ban on bump stocks. He's done more against the Second Amendment than Obama did. Do you know what the National Defense Authorization Act is? Do you know what the National Defense...
Corey, I have not seen this part of the video. You are... I can't even put into words. Guys, this is frickin' classic. This is truth meets cognitive dissonance. And I hate that this video has already gone on for 53 minutes because I'm kind of on borrowed time. They could shut this video down any second and just lock me out, but I got to keep going with this.
Defense Authorization Act is? No. Your president signed it. So did Bush. So did Obama.
We're going to have to take it.
Okay, so should Trump.
Yeah, give me liberty or give me death. No.
What do you mean prove it? He
This
signed
guy said, the guy says that Obama should be indicted for war crimes. This guy in the Stars and Stripes hat and the white shirt. And then he said, so did Trump. And he said, prove it. And he just did. All you got to do is pull up your phone, dude. Pull up your phone. Look at Trump authorizes National Defense Authorization Act. And that's all you need. Trump re-signs Patriot Act. That's all you need. You only need one of those. Besides civil asset forfeiture, the continuation of the drug war, putting Steve Mnuchin in as the Treasury Secretary when he's a Goldman Sachs Zionist international banker, putting Mike Pompeo in as Secretary of State when he's nothing more than a warmonger, giving the military-industrial complex a 5.6% increase over and above what Obama and Bush did. I mean, the list goes on, guys. It's long. It's longer than your arm. It'll go out the door and wrap around your house. You only need one, though. How about Real ID? Trump is responsible for putting a deadline on Real ID. Every state has to be Real ID compliant by October 1st, 2020. That's a globalist move. That puts a little hologram on your license, and you can't fly internationally or domestically unless you have that on your driver's license. More control. When you say Trump 2020, you're saying totalitarianism 2020. Guys, I could go on and on and on. And then people go, yeah, but what else? Yeah, but what else? Yeah, but what else? Why are you saying, yeah, but what else? Are you saying, well, that's tyranny I'm willing to accept? Is that why you keep saying, yeah, what else?
The National Defense Authorization Act. He signed the Patriot Act. He's bailed out Wall Street. He bailed out the banks. He's bailed out the airlines.
Guys, that's what the stimulus package was about. It wasn't about bailing out Americans. Americans only got $350 billion, if that, and a lot of people were locked out and didn't get it. And it wasn't a $2.2 trillion bailout or stimulus package. It was a 6.2. 4.5 of that immediately went off the top and went to the corporate banker bailout. Corporate/banker bailout. Because the corporations are the ones who got themselves in their own corporatized debt bubble to the tune of, at least from everything that I've read and all the evidence that points to $19 trillion. They're not done raping us yet. This is economic terrorism. Corey's freaking right.
He's turned Republicans into socialists over fucking night.
Yeah, Republicans and Democrats are socialists. They're communists. That's what we're trying to tell.
Every one of you guys in this frame right here, if you're watching my video, you ought to be a freaking ashamed of yourself for not getting up on those steps and walking shoulder to shoulder with somebody who cares, gives a damn about liberty and freedom. You don't care about liberty and freedom. You don't care about truth. You don't care about your family being protected from the trampling tyrannical boots of people who don't give a damn about the Fourth Amendment to be secure in your person's houses, papers, and effects. You don't give a damn about the Second Amendment, even though you say you do. Banning bump stocks is all you need to, if all Trump did wrong, if everything else was perfect, but he banned bump stocks, he's a tyrant. But that's not all he did. And that's not all tyrants do. But if that's all it was, that's all you need to, through the eyes of lens of freedom, get out the bazooka of truth and just fill in the blanks. Can't say any more. Bravo, Corey. Bravo. If you want to watch the rest of this video, because I'm going to, let's just do this right here. Here, let me just do this. All right, I got to get back to my program here. Hang tight, guys. I'm a novice. Let's see. Look at that, Mark Zuckerberg. I was watching this Mark Zuckerberg CNN thing. I might do a video on it. Where's Corey, man? I thought I had his. Here it is. All right, let me just reframe this. This is Corey Man. The guy that you're hearing on the bullhorn is this guy, Corey Man X. He only has 12.4 thousand subscribers. Come on, guys. We can do better than that. This guy he's got the flamethrower of truth on full frickin' blast against the crowd, a crowd of lemmings that is worse than any march against our rights function ever thought about being. Because these people right here, let's see. These people right here, at least they have some knowledge, but the knowledge they have is not doing them any bit of good. They're completely coming against freedom and liberty and in the tank for tyranny. So what you're seeing right here is this video right here, rally preview. It's 3 hours long. I'm just taking snippets from this, but there's a lot of good stuff here, guys. Please support Corey's channel. Go to his, I'm not telling you what to do, but if you're so inclined, go to Corey's channel, tell him High Impact Vlogs sent you. This guy is spitting and preaching the truth to save the people in bondage, the very people who are resisting him. Amazing. Your true friend will tell you what you got to hear. Your true friend will never tell you what you want to hear, because what you want to hear is not the thing you got to hear if you're going to be free. So let me go over some more of these super chats, and then we're going to end this. Let me refresh this page. Guys, please stop with the super chats. I really appreciate it, but give it to Corey Man X, man. He's out there. He spent his hard-earned money and resources. Go to his channel. Go to his PayPal. Give him the money. Everyone, please share. Please make and share videos and memes, says Tim True. Thank you, Edro21 or 81. Wasabi Ninja says the Social Security number is your slave number owned by the Crown. Look up Social Security, United States of America, Order 1997. It's part of the slave program. I got some things to say about that. Yeah, you're right. But I'll save that for another video. I'd rather pay for your truth than pay taxes, says Opinionated Asshole. Bone says, fun how the Tea Party is AOL. Yep, exactly. Unapologetic Apologist says, I agree that we have morality written on our hearts, but you should ask who wrote that on our hearts. It wasn't another man. It's inherent. Jesus didn't submit to authority when it went against God. Yeah, I'm not here to get into religion, but yeah, if people want to believe that, that's fine. But don't request and ask for tyranny on somebody else, or try to force somebody to believe what you believe. That's the whole point of freedom. Bodhi says, I will not bind absolutism. Keep on bringing the rain, Brian. Talks with Ryan. Case Audit says, if everyone can get on board, real change can come. I totally agree. Michael Ochoa says, wow, Brian, you are the one sole person that made me realize what the F. I've been brainwashed. We all have, man. And to an extent, there's still brainwashing and cognitive dissonance in all of our minds, guys. There's bias in all of our minds. It's just up to us to take personal responsibility to break free from that for the benefit of yourself, your family, and everybody around you. Because it doesn't do us any good to stay in cognitive dissonance. It never has, and it never will. Driving while black. Brian, you really inspire me more than you know, man. Glad I've had the privilege of listening to you for the past 5 years. Wow, geez. I'm gonna check out your channel right now. JC, thank you, man. Snapzilla Gorilla, never compromise on freedom, folkers. That's how they have enslaved us for this time, all this time. Let's knock off the BS. Amen. Daniel Bates says, we need to look deep within ourselves and realize we did this. Set aside any envy and pride and work together, not only in body, but in spirit, and believe. Use their weakness of fear, of fearing the people against them. Yeah. And I would just say, believe what you want to believe, but knowledge does not depend on belief. Knowledge is the enemy of belief. Belief can't be the thing that guides your actions against your fellow human being. Let's just put it that way. Thanks, Daniel. Bam Bam Niner says, I hope you realize that you're waking up a bunch of people. Some are relying on your voice to help them see. Stay humble and get your rest. Thank you for what you do. That is humbling. This whole thing is totally a humbling experience. I have to face my own frailties as a man every single day, guys. My own shortcomings, my own, inability sometimes to come to the truth myself. But that's our journey, right? That's what we do as human beings. We help each other. If somebody lags behind, you reach out a hand and you pull them on ahead. You slingshot them ahead, because one of these days you're going to need them just like they're going to need you. And we're all in this same sinking boat together. JC, love for government is the root of all evil. Yeah, I would agree with that, because government literally means mind control. If you're wanting to control somebody else, either whether heavy or light, you're doing that which is immoral, because you don't want somebody controlling you. If you're thinking properly, let me just put it this way. No sane person wants to be controlled by another individual. He wants to control and order the affairs of his own life. You don't want somebody else coming in, trampling your will and violating you without your consent. No sane person wants that. With the caveat of sane, because I'm sure there are insane people out there who want to be controlled by other people. That's not who I'm talking about. Rather be anonymous. Real patriots are picking up what you're laying down, Brian. Keep doing the Lord's work. Thanks, man. Muslim MGTOW, love you, bro. Love you back. Corey, dude, thanks. I appreciate it. Thanks for the super chat. Teamwork. Thank you for the love. Yeah, it is. It's all us. It's on us. It's not on any one person. Don't elevate me. Don't elevate Corey Man X. Elevate truth. Elevate love, human compassion, knowledge. I'm talking about real love. I'm not talking about this psychopathic, namby-pamby, snowflake love. I'm talking about the real love that says, you know what? I love my family so much. That's why I want to be armed. I love my family so much. That's why I want one of those scary black AR-15 military-grade firearms. Because I want to put myself in the best possible position in that love to protect my family. I want quote-unquote high capacity, which is just regular standard capacity magazines. Why? Because I'm a good guy, and you're a good guy, and we should be armed to the teeth, ready for any assailant to come against us, because you know they're out there. And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So when they come, make sure you put yourself in the best possible position to be the most powerful person in the room for the benefit of yourself and other people. That's how you think. That's what love is. Greater love is no one than this, then he lays down his life for his friend. That's love. Love is not, oh yeah, vote for Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. This is really love. Oh, kumbaya. Let's get Obama on board. He's our hope and change. That's not love. That's mush. That's gobbledygook. So thanks, Corey Man X. Grace Ford says, if ever a chance to refresh on the mentions to take family members from our homes, our kids, if you can, please. Wait a second. How did I slaughter that? If ever a chance to refresh on the mentions to take family members from our homes, our kids, if you can, please. Oh, yeah. I think I know what you're saying. Yeah, it's about they want your kids. They want to take your kids from your homes. If they assume or presuppose or think that you might have CV-19 and they come to your house and they suspect you might get sick or you've been in contact with somebody who was sick, they will take you out of your home and take your kids and take them into Child Protective Services. We've already seen that heralded and championed on mainstream media. They're all for that. Guys, if your kids go to foster care, CPS is one of the big... I read the article to you. They investigated themselves in New York and found that 86 out of 88 kids who were taken by CPS were found to have been abused in child sex rings. 86 out of 88 coming from CPS to child sex rings, guys. 86 out of 88. Just let that sink in. And that's the government inspecting itself, investigating itself, and then letting you have the information. How much worse is it really, though? Because you know they put that behind a veil of deception. Maybe it's 88 out of 88. It's horrible. If your kids ever go to CPS, it's almost like a death warrant. Having your government have your children is not a good thing and never will be and never can be a good thing. So thanks, Grace. Muslim MGTOW said, my job said they'd fire me if I didn't wear a mask outside while on duty due to the city of Austin wear a mask rule, so I quit and said liberty and freedom. That is just amazingly oppressive. Putting somebody in a position where if you don't do this, you're going to lose your job. Even though forcing somebody to do that is based on a construct of belief, you don't even know there is a CV-19. None of us do. And we've lived all this time without wearing a mask and we didn't die. And all of a sudden now something has changed in our world. I don't buy it. If somebody else wants to buy it, that's fine. But don't lay that on you. Don't lay that on somebody else. Unapologetic Apologist says, people need to understand these bankers and elitists have planned this from the beginning by validating the mass distrust of media. Trump is involved. Yep, he is. It took this pandemic for me to fully see it. And that's sort of why I'm thankful for it. Let's see. Do I even have this still up? Shoot, I don't have that Rockefeller document up. But yeah, it's all planned. Yeah, and I hope a lot of people do wake up, truly wake up to this and let it just sink deep down to their minds and their hearts. Thanks, Unapologetic Apologist. Truth Teller says, Trump is a puppet that leads other puppets to brainwashing. Very well said. Lee Lamb says, Raymond Karskowetsky, mind-blowing. Please check him out. Raymond Karczewski? Never heard of him. Open Your Life to Freedom says Penny News. And Case Zenak says, anyone who doesn't believe Trump is part of the system. Anyone who doesn't believe Trump is part of the system should multiply the amount of people in the United States by 1,200 and see how much it equals. Yep, because it doesn't even come close to $6.2 trillion. Am I still on here? Let me see. Yeah, I'm still on. Okay, I'm going to... Doggone it. There's more. Guys, okay, stop. Please stop the super chats. Thank you. Thank you for the super chats. Please save them for Corey Man X. Give to his PayPal account or somebody. Your favorite YouTuber who you know is telling the truth, you know, bless them today with something in their PayPal account. What else do we have here? Integrity, trust. If you're not willing to die for it, the word freedom should be put out of your vocabulary. Amen. I totally agree with that. Caught You Trolling says, you're a factory of facts freedom. Thanks, man. Daniel Gleason says, before I found your channel, I was brainwashed as well as by Trump, by the Trump following. Since then, I've done my homework and have had a major awakening. Thank you for your channel and your knowledge. And that's a good point, Daniel. Don't believe anything. I mean, cross-reference everything that I say. Is what I'm saying true? You have access to the internet. One of the greatest things since sliced bread, guys, is the internet. I used to, when I was a kid, if I wanted to find out something, I'd have to walk or ride my bike or have mom take me to the library. I had to learn the Dewey Decimal System, find out where my book was, and maybe, just maybe, I'd find what I needed, grab the book, check it out, start reading. Right now, we can get out our phones. I don't even know where my phone is. Just get out our phones, start scrolling. Let your fingers do the walking throughout the libraries of the world are at our fingertips. Ignorance is not an excuse anymore. Guys, thank you for checking in here. Please check out. I'm going to end with Corey Man. Oh, Driving While Black. All right. Driving While Black doesn't have any subscribers or any videos yet. Let me end with this right here. Can you see Corey Man X? I'm just going to blow this up. I'll just leave it right here. This is Corey Man X's channel. The video we've been watching comes from right here. Rally preview protest. Please give Corey some love. Subscribe to his channel if you're so inclined. Let him know High Impact Vlog sent you. I will see you guys in the next heavily censored Shadowban live stream. I really appreciate your support. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you guys for Patreon, the Patreon supporters and PayPal and everything. I really appreciate it, guys. Where we go one, where we go all is for real. Okay. I know Q co-opted it. I'm against Q because they're for Trump and they're for following the plan and, you know, follow the government, obey. There's good guys in government. Going to weed out the bad guys in the deep state government. It's all a lie, guys. You don't need government. The only non-essential business, if you want to call it that, in this land is government. Everything else is essential because it's part of the free market and it's part of the people. I will see you guys and never stop contending for freedom, guys. And it's an uphill battle. The price of that freedom is eternal vigilance, and indifference to this notion is the means by which the people have and will, just look around you, secure their own oppression. I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored